Okay.
Done, done, done. You're fine. Is it unmuted? It's now unmuted. That has to be unmuted. Yes. So we'll chant the Mela Sutta. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Gananam tva ganapatikum havamahe kavim kavinamupamasravastramam jyeshtarajam brahmanam brahmanaspataः shruण्वन्नोतिभिः महागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वादिनीवती लीनामविद्यवतु वाग्देव्यै नमः। ॐ यश्चन्दसा वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोऽव्यो देवताः सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया कृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासम् शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भोरिविश्रवम् ब्रह्मणः घोषोऽसि मेधया विहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ मेधादेवी दुषमाना विश्वाजी भद्रमनस्यमाना त्वया दुष्टानुदमाना दुरुक्ता बृहत्प्रदेव विदते सुवीरा त्वया दुष्टविषिर्भवति देवी त्वया ब्रह्मा तस्मिन्नुतत्वया त्वया दुष्टचित्तं विन्दते वसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे मेधां महीन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना उभावा दत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सराकुशया मेधा गन्धर्वेषु च जन्मनः दैवीं मेधा सरस्वती सामा मेधा सुरभिर्विशताः स्वाहा मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगती जगम्या ऊर्ध्वस्वती पयसा बिम्बमाना मेधा सुप्रतीकाजुषन्ताम् मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि अग्निं सेयो ददातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि इन्द्रियं ददातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो प्राणो ददातु हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत्। श्री रामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। So we will do some bhajans similar to our normal pattern. So this is a lead and follow. Just follow after me. Simple chant. Two-line chant. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Jaya Ganesh, Pahi Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, Raksha Maam. Navakatamrutam. I think, can we all sing together? I think we have done it past the last couple of times. We all should be able to sing, chant this together. Navakatamrutam Sapadevanam कविविरीडितं तत्पश्चापहं श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदागतं भुवि गणये भूरिदानना कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविविरीडितं कल्पशापहं मङ्गलम् श्रीमदागतं भुवि गणये भूरिराजना. Very good singing. Another lead and follow. Just follow after me. हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण करुणामय पालय करुणामय पालय हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण करुणामय पालय माम् करुणामय पालय माम् हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण करुणामय पालय माम् करुणामय पालय माम् हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण करुणामय पालय माम् करुणामय पालय माम् हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण हे प्रेम रूप श्री रामकृष्ण करुणामय पालय माम् करुणामय पालय माम् हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् मम प्राणप्रिय पाहि माम् हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश हे दीनबन्धु श्री शारदेश पाहि मां
मम प्राण प्रिय 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 पाहि मां
One more didn't follow. Just follow. Very simple 2 lines. Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Gaho Rama Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna,
Jabo Rama Krishna Sri Ramakrishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
Bhajo Rama Krishna, Japo Rama Krishna,
Bhajo Rama Krishna Japo Rama Krishna
taking refuge in the holy feet of Sharada, Universal Mother, and Sri Ramakrishna, the teacher of the world. My humble salutations to them forever and ever. Kalyananam Avikala Nidhi, Kapi Karunya Sima, Nitya Modha, Nigama Vachasam Mauli Mandara Mala, Sampad Divya, Madhu Vijayinaha, Sannidattam Sadame, Saisha Devi Sakala Bhavanam, Prarthana Kama Devata. May Divine Mother, the infinite source of all auspicious things, and the ultimate abode of compassion, one who is glorified in Vedas and Vedantas, the divine consort of Sri Ramakrishna, and the unique benefactor for all the worlds, always manifest before me. My humble greetings to you all. See, we are not trying to make Sri Ramakrishna another God. So now we have heard bhajans. So people have two different opinions. Some want personal God, some want impersonal God. The people who have that impersonal aspect may not like this kind of personal bhajans and all this. So here there is no dispute. That is why Sri Ramakrishna's incarnation is to reconciliate this major thing. So what we have to do is we have to accept each other. So some are very much attached to this personal attribute of God, and they want God to be in certain forms and with attributes. Other ones, God like impersonal aspect. So even that is why Swamiji did not talk about Sri Ramakrishna very much when he was in America. So there is no dispute. It is like a kind of an item in a menu card when you go to a restaurant. So what we want, we just take and experience the glory of the divinity. So now before I start, I would like to tell a story. It is not that it is my style to tell a story all the time, but this is continuing, but may not be in the next class. So the story is from Mahabharata. So we have two great epics of India. One is Ramayana and Mahabharata. So this story is from there. The message of this story I will tell beforehand is to this. After you hear the story, you will understand. It's a very simple story, like as we say for kids. The message is how to use our instrument to manifest our divinity. So the instrument what we have is mind. The mind is the only instrument. Of course, body and mind is nothing gross and subtle aspect of the same thing. So we are going to use that as our best instrument to manifest our divinity. So this story actually tells this. So there lived a sage. And before I start, this story was conveyed or told by Bhishmacharya to Yudhishthira. Bhishmacharya is a grandfather of this Yudhishthira, great grandfather. And he says this story to his grandson. Yudhishthira is a chief of the Pandavas. Like they have 5 brothers, and Yudhishthira is the chief. And he is in exile. His half brothers made him exile, and now he is in the forest. And Yudhishthira knows that he is going to be the future king. So he is asking his grandfather how a king should be. So this is the story. So what are there are many questions he asks, and his grandfather replies one after another. So this episode, he asks how a king should select a minister. Now, minister is an instrument for a king to rule his kingdom very well to the welfare of the people. So for us, the minister is our mind. So the mind is our minister. So we have to use our mind, the minister, to manage our affairs and our day-to-day life, which is nothing but God-centered. So I will come about all these little later. So the story is like this. There is a beautiful forest, and under a banyan tree, there lived a sage and who used to meditate, something like our Buddha, or in our centers we have Christ photo, where Christ is sitting in the meditation portion. So all the animals in the forest used to come and visit this sage, and sage become a very friendly and has a motherly character to these animals. So every day he will pat the deer, lion, elephant, lizard, all insects, all whatever insects plus animals, they all come to this stage, and they yearn for his love and affection. So every day before they go to their job, these animals used to say tata, goodbye, like as the kids say goodbye to their parents before they go to school. So like that, these animals used to be that affectionate with the sage. Amongst this animal, there lived a dog. The dog was a bit little disabled. So it came and requested the sage. See, I am always targeted by a jackal. This jackal fellow is always trying to eat me. So please help me. Then sage had a pitcher, common, which has got some water which is purified or having some powerful water. So he sprinkles the water on this dog and converts it into a jackal. So jackal will not kill another jackal. So the jackal felt safe. Dog which became jackal felt safe. Then after the next day again the jackal came. Oh, please, I'm now targeted by a leopard. So how do I manage this? Then again the sage converted this dog jackal into a leopard. No, leopard will not kill another leopard. Then again the next day our dog leopard came and again cried. See, I am targeted by a tiger. So what should I do? Then the sage converted that leopard, the dog, jackal, leopard into a tiger. Now again, the tiger was living in the hermitage, and it was very friendly with this our sage. Then again the next day the tiger came and again cried, see, I'm targeted by a big elephant, so which has got a big tusk. So kindly help me. Then the sage said, okay, he converted the tiger into, that is dog, jackal, leopard, tiger into an elephant. Now elephant, again next day, again the elephant came, our dog elephant. The original is dog. So he came and asked, I'm targeted by lion, the king of the forest. So how do I manage? Then our sage said, okay, I will convert it into I will change you to lion. Now he is lion. Now he was thinking. Then because of his presence, all other animals did not approach our sage. So now he's thinking, for the forest there should be only one lion, and this sage has the capacity to make even an insect into lion. So how do I protect my position? So if I make this sage to come into my stomach, then I can be a lion for this forest, king of this forest forever. So the lion planned to eat this sage. Our sage is a great yogi. He has the power of the omniscience. So he came to know about this plant. So the moment immediately when he saw that lion, he converted back into the old form, this our dog. Then our dog becomes so cheerless and ran inside the forest and totally vanished from the stage. So this is the story. Moral of the story is this dog is like our mind. If we are not, if we keep, pampering our thoughts, our mind, then it will outgrow and try to consume us, consume our divinity. So if we are not a yogi, if we are not developing the faculty of all righteousness and yogic spiritual exercises, we are going to be a prey for this our own mind. So our mind is a slave for the soul and not the other way. Soul is not the slave for mind. So Sri Ramakrishna is going to help us how to have the spiritual center in our life and make this mind as a slave to us, as an instrument, a best instrument to manifest our divinity. So this is the story told by Bhishma Acharya to his grandson Yudhishthira. It comes in Mahabharata in the Shanti Parva. There are 18 Parva sections in Mahabharata. It's a very big epic. And one of the section is or episode is Shanti Parva. So last class we were talking about the invocation hymn of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So some of you weren't here. So the invocations hymn we just chant Tavakatamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavi Viriditam Kalpashapaham Sravana Mangalam Sri Madhapatam Ubi Grinantite Ye or they both are correct. Te Purida Jana. So this hymn is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a beautiful song called Gopika Geetam or a song of separation. So last class I was discussing about how this song came in Bhagavatam. Actually, this song has got 19 verses, 19 sections, and the 10th section is this song. That is the middle section. And this song is sung by 19 gopikas. Gopikas means cowards, that is female cover. This 19, they are divided into two, unmarried and married. So some girls are married, some girls aren't married. So 10 are married and 9 are not married. So, and also there are 4 characteristics, that is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas and Nirguna. So Sattva is purity, who has purity, and second is passionate, third is inertia or kind of a darkness, Tamas, and fourth is Nirguna. Nirguna doesn't mean that there is no any characteristics. There is no characteristics. It means that a person can have any character at any time. So this is what Nirguna means. So these 4 gunas, and it is divided into 2. One is married, unmarried, and each gopika has 2 characteristics. So Sattva, Rajas, Sattva, Tamas, Sattva. So this 10th verse is sung by a girl who is unmarried and who has Sattva and Rajas characteristics. So this section is beautifully elaborately discussed by Vallabhacharya in his Sri Subodhini commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. And we should see that how this beautifully this 10th sloka, this 10th verse is selected and attached to our Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. This sloka is like a crown on this book, on this book. So, and this sloka speciality is, the God himself is this sloka. So in Sanskrit, God is called Bhagavan. So the Bhagavan has 6 qualities. What are the 6 qualities? Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, Virya, Shakti, Teja. That is in English, opulence, righteousness, fame, wealth, knowledge, and dispassion. So each and every sentence in that has this qualities. So this is just like a crown. It's a decoration, an ornament on our Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So last class there was a question by one of our listeners that how in presence of God there can be person can have these gunas or characters. Actually, when Gopikas were singing this song, it is a song of God. It's a song of separation. God has vanished from that place, as Krishna has vanished from that place, and these Gopikas, 19 girls, were yearning to see his vision. Sri Ramakrishna always says that yearning of God is very important. And they were yearning, and each one has certain characteristics because they are with their material body. As soon as we are body consciousness, we will have any of either of these 3 characteristics prominent or combination of these things. Sri Ramakrishna beautifully, it is all devotion. So beautifully says there are 3 kinds of devotions. One is Sattvika devotion, Rajasika devotion, and Tamasika devotion. What is Sattvika devotion? Sattvika devotion, people who are Sattvic and who have this, such a devotion has these qualities. What are the qualities? They don't show off. And they quietly meditate in one corner. They don't have any outer symbols to show that I am a devotee of God. And they only concentrate on God. Again, when I say God, some people don't like that word. Honestly, most of us in America, they don't want to say any God concept. Like, I just want to be impersonal, some consciousness. They have that, something like a fancy to use the word consciousness. Yes, they can use. Or you can just say your virtue development. You can choose anything. There are lots of virtues: forbearance, tolerance, love for all. You can think about those concepts without any outer show. That is, such a devotion is called Sattvika Bhakti. For such people, attainment of God is very quick, is guaranteed by Sri Ramakrishna. The second is the Rajasika Bhakti. Rajasika Bhakti is, they show outwardly that I am a devotee of God. So like this, we wear a dress to show I am a holy person. And people, and they wear a rudraksha, the beads, or tulsi beads, and they put this bhasma, some kind of symbols, ornaments, to show that they are very holy people. And they conduct pompous celebrations, pujas, rituals, to show that they are devotees of God. So this kind of bhakti is Rajasika Bhakti. So our invocation song is sung by a Gopika who has these 2 types of combination of these 2 types of characters. The third one is a very interesting, is a Tamasic Bhakti. The person who has this Tamasic Bhakti, how does he behave? He just shouts like, how do I say? It shows the courage and like a boisterousness of a highway robber. Like this is how Sri Ramakrishna uses that. So he say, oh, come on, kill that fellow, plunder him, and I won't be afraid of the police. And he said, Om Om Hara Hara, victory to Kali, victory to. He just shouts on the street. And he makes a big chaos and procession, big shouting. So this kind of bhakti is tamasical bhakti. Now there is no superiority or inferiority. It is just the stages of development and their interest to manifest. And God likes that. Based on that person's capacity, this is being activated. So this is the three types of bhakti. So these Gopikas had these types of combinations of bhaktis. The last class I was a bit afraid how to explain this. In fact, Thakur saved me when I read the gospel. Then these three types of bhakti came into. Thakur showed me that Sri Ramakrishna showed, hey, I have already told about three types of bhakti. You say that to this person. So I think I have replied the answer to our devotee who asked this question.
So Akshay asked this question in the last class.
Yes.
I think I'll send him a scan of that discussion.
Now, these divine stories are all like rivers. As it travels everywhere, the Bhakta's devotion will actually freeze that river into an ice and make an ideal form for his taste to worship God, his or her taste. So please don't say, when I say, please don't think I'm neglecting women or someone when I say he or his, so it includes them very much. So please don't mind the pronoun. Pronouns is always common. So now Krishna, after this, in Srimad Bhagavatam, he gives an assurance. After this 10 songs, 19 hymns have been sung, he gives an assurance. The assurance is so beautiful. He says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shraddha Anvitaha Anu Srunuyat. That is faithfully hearing. Please note here. We are going to just hear. We are not going to practice. We are just going to hear the music. We are not going to practice. We are not going to sit and meditate. Someone is talking about meditation. We are just hearing that. Yaha who bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam, with supreme devotion to the Lord, obtaining material lust. We have material lust all the time. Rit roham, which is the disease of the heart. The material lust is the disease of the heart. Apahinoti. He says apahinoti. Achirena dhiraha. Apahinoti means drives away. Achirena, quickly. Dhiraha means sober. So just by hearing this song of separation, he is going to take away the disease of the heart, which is material lust, and that is he is going to do it very quickly. So he is not telling us to practice anything, just hearing. Because the moment we practice, we are going to toil, we are going to do all sorts of hard work which we don't like. We want somebody else to write our examination and we want to get our distinction certificate. This is how we mostly, everything wants to be easily done. So this is the, and Sri Krishna gives this assurance. Same way, Thakur also will say that just by hearing Kathamrita, we are going to get all the spiritual benefits, like our yogi, to keep our mind like this dog. as an instrument, best instrument to manifest our divinity. So this is the package. Now, I have not gone into the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna yet. So this is our fourth class, in fact, and I'm still hovering on that introduction aspects, because it is not just like a storybook. Anybody can open up Sri Ramakrishna's Gospel and start reading, but there are certain subtle meanings that needs to be absorbed. Otherwise, they will miss the real wisdom. So that is why I'm striving hard to give so much importance to the introduction, and then we will surely get or jump into that swimming pool of our gospel. Now, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is going to help us to know God. How to know God? He says, only by loving God. We need to love Him. Mutual love should be there. It should not be one-way love. Swami Abhidanandaji gives a beautiful explanation in his complete works. He always says mutual love should be there. See, people are husband and wife here. Some are having that close relationship with others. How that is established? Because of the mutual love. If there is no mutual love, then there is that particular relationship will take long time. So we need to already the mutual love between us and the divinity is established, but we need to maintain that. So he says the only way to maintain is to yearn for God and to surrender ourselves to God. That is very important. And he says, be God-centered and include God in karma, jnana, and bhakti. Again, when I say karma, please don't think it is some technical word that has come from Vedanta. Is it something totally different from our day-to-day life? Nothing like that. Karma means our day-to-day activities. Jnana means knowledge of what we day-to-day do. You need not to study any Bhagavad Gita or anything. That comes later. But what we do, what we need to have knowledge, and that knowledge to be correct knowledge, perfect knowledge. And devotion. Whosoever we love, we love some people. Mother loving child, husband loving wife. And all relationship is based on this love. We like something. So what Sri Ramakrishna says, put God in every activity. Include Him. Don't exclude Him. That is what he is trying to say. So I will tell you a story how this surrender really plays. May not be so much relevant, but if you feel, you can connect it. Jesus Christ with his disciples went to a temple. And they were all sitting there at the darshana, whatever, that prayers, and they were sitting on outside the footsteps of the temple. And there was a big queue. People were donating. And there was an offering box. So each one came one after another and they were donating. And some donated some gold coins, and the guy put his hand into his coin bag and just took some lots and put like that in the offering box. Then Jesus Christ was watching that, and all the disciples were also watching. Then the queue was over, so all people dispersed. Then Jesus Christ asked his disciples, who do you think, you saw these people, they were offering. Who gave more money? Who offered highest to the Lord? Tell me. I mean, before that, there was one old lady, very old, poor lady, very not having a good, clean cloth or anything. Even she also offered something. And many rich people also offered. So that was the scene going on, and they were observing. And Jesus Christ asked, who do you think gave the most donation to the Lord? Then one, maybe Peter, said, no, I think that guy who came with the crown, I think he gave lots of money. I saw him, many coins were jingling, and I heard lots of jingling sounds. Oh, that guy gave a necklace like that. Then Jesus Christ said, no, none of you are correct. You know who gave the lots of money? This lady, this poor lady. And the disciples were confused. What are you saying? She looked very poor. How could she give, lots of money to the Lord? He said, see, each one came and they all had bag full of coins. They only took part of it and put in their offering box. But did you see this lady? She did not have anything, maybe 2-3 coins in her pouch or purse. She took the purse and she just put the whole purse into this, emptied the whole purse into that offering and took the purse empty. Though she might have offered only like 2 anna or like $1 or something, but others would have offered like 100,000 maybe. But this poor lady, but she didn't want to keep anything with her. She wants to offer everything, whatever she had to God, even though she was poor. But this is the yardstick for us to measure the love of God. And we need to offer everything to God. That is what we call the surrender, self-surrender. So this is what we need as a basic prerequisite to love God. Sri Ramakrishna says it is not that easy to get this. And he quotes it from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam Sagasreshu Kaschid Adati Siddhaye Yatadam Api Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tatvata. So this kind of attitude of loving me amongst thousands, only few will get. Very few will hardly know me, not everyone. So why only few? Why not everybody? Why can't why everybody cannot have the same opportunity to love God? Because we need the grace. We need to love that. There should be mutual love. Sri Ramakrishna always had it. There was emotional identity between Kali and Sri Ramakrishna. Though they were physical quantity, they were different. Quality, they were one. What Kali thinks, Ramakrishna thinks exactly the same. There was no difference in that. That emotional identity was always there. That has to be consistently maintained in our life. So, God cannot be understood with our deceitful senses, but through the absolute earningness of God, that through our mind, it can be achieved. So there is a beautiful one small sentence in Sanskrit, that is Vak Manasa Yoho Abhumi. Vak Manasa Yoho Abhumi. That is, we cannot objectify him. That is very difficult to objectify, means we cannot complete our objectification. That is what it is. So that is yado vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan. So what it says, our words cannot complete the description of his. Suppose if I want to describe a book, I can describe it, complete it, but we cannot complete God's, our words is not enough. Because after some time our mouth will pain. We have to stop. But we have got so much to say. Then our mind cannot completely cannot complete his the contemplation. Again, the mind will get tired. Then you will sleep because he is so big. He is infinite. So that is what the meaning of this sentence. And who knows? Who can understand the bliss of the eternal, this immeasurable bliss? So this is the so how to understand him then? Only through bhakti, only through self-surrender. We can understand him. So the special grace is earned through the humility and self-surrender. Ramakrishna always says, what is the vehicle of Sri Ramakrishna? Every gods have a vehicle. The vehicle of Ramakrishna was humility. Humility and self-surrender. And Nada Jana, Drisham Bhumi. Nada means one who is bent. Bent means we obediently bow ourselves to God. Again, when I say God, please, you can take it as a with form or like a concept. It is up to you. Again, concept, you can take a virtue. If you want to learn something, we have to go with humility. If we go to university, we learn our subjects, we cannot overrule our teacher. We have to go with humility and learn the subjects. That's what Ramakrishna says. Nothing new. What we do is just telling it in a little, in a magical way. That's all. Our day-to-day life, what we do is just putting it in a like a kind of a spiritual package and reiterate it. Now, next is the gospel is going to show us how to attain this self-surrender. That is manifestation of the virtue. First is holy company. He always say that holy company, holy company. Again, holy company means it is not that a company of a monk all the time. Any person who is helping you to think about God, that person is a holy. Now, again, if you want to be a scientist, if you want to be, you want to invent something scientifically, will you seek a company of a cowherd? You cannot. We have to be in the company of scientists. If I want to become an Einstein, then I have to go to his university or where things of more physicists are. So, if you want to know God, then we have to go to the holy people. It is our commonsensical thing. If you want to be a musician, we have to go to that place where music school. We cannot go to some other school which doesn't teach music. So a simple common sense thing. So what happens then? If we go to such people, we build faith in God, and then we develop concentration, Shraddha, Nishtha, and then we try to move forward. Second is, what is the second quality? He teaches about ego. That is right ego and unripe ego. So what is unripe ego? All the time we think about this body, my body, and my whole body is matter. Is simply a material product. When this, and he says it belongs to me, that is unripe ego. So I focus all my life towards this body. I want to be beautiful. I want to be, the entire my intelligence should be the best intelligence. For that, we market ourselves in various ways. The moment that unright becomes right ego, what happens to our body? It becomes divine body. Body will be there with us. When the right ego comes, that is when we become God-centered, our body will become the body of the God. Then it becomes aprakrita. Aprakrita means immaterial. We get the divine body. Then, see, it is true. So when you go and meet some genuine sages or seers, their body shines. They have a sort of, some shining aura in their appearance. One genuine saints, but some people can mistake for someone for another. But genuine people have this. You look at the great Vedantic acharyas like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, or any of the Christian saints, all these, they have a very special body. And people are cured by touching their body. So these qualities like holy company and making right ego, unright ego to right ego, these are all the basic prerequisites. And for the manifestation of a virtue, it applies to all religions. It is not only Vedanta, it can apply to Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, or any ism, or even without ism, or being an atheist. And then the third is meditation. Sri Ramakrishna says that one should meditate. The meditation is the biggest problem. We don't like to meditate. We don't want to go to gym, but we want six-pack. We want all beauty of the celebrities without having we don't want to work at all. For all the time, we want something very freely. But you see, Sri Ramakrishna is giving that to us. So he says, you withdraw yourself quite often, go to a solitary place, go to a forest and meditate. Think that I am the son of the God or daughter of the God. I don't want anybody. You go on solitarily meditate, he says. And our friend said, I don't want to go to forest. I don't have time. Then our Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, you don't want to go to forest, so at least meditate in the corner of your corner of a room in your home. Then our friend says, corner of a room in my house? My house is all the time packed with people, my friends, my kids, I'm always partying. Where will I get corner of a room to meditate? I don't have any such place. Then he says, okay, you don't have a corner of a room. Then you meditate in the inner chamber of heart. And he said, that is much more difficult. My heart is always filled with the desires. There is no space for God thought or anything. What do you think? Is it easy to have my little space vacant in my heart to think about God? No, not at all possible. I have to attend, reply emails, phone calls, messages. All these things I have to concentrate on my friends, kids, maintain my relationship with them. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, okay, fine. You don't want to do that also. At least you surrender yourself to me, to God. He will do everything for you, he said. Then we say, oh, this is an attractive package because somebody is going to work for me in the gym and I'm going to get six packs and all kinds of, the beautiful body like a celebrity or, like actor and actresses and beautiful people on earth. So somebody is going to work for me. and I'm going to get all the benefit. But that is the most difficult task. It might sound that Saranagati is the very easy thing. If you read Sri Ramakrishna's life, he gave this package to Girish Ghosh. And how Girish Ghosh suffered a lot. Suffering means, what I mean is, he suffered in the sense that he wasn't able to enjoy all his sense activities. And he thought, oh, Sri Ramakrishna will meditate for me. So Ramakrishna will do everything for me. I can go to theater. I can, have fun with my friends, party with my friends, and I can do all sorts of things. I don't have time to think of. But Ramakrishna will think. He will think. Let me enjoy. Do all my work as usual. He thought that is easy, and he thought he will deceive, trick Sri Ramakrishna. But later he found that slowly he wasn't able to do anything. His mind was totally all the time going towards God. He wasn't able to do his, because he was a kind of a naughty man who did all wrong practices. If you read his history, you will understand. So all his wrong practices, which were like the Zubedian experience, whatever he had, he was losing it. He lost interest. It lost complete interest. And it happened in my life also. Once I will tell you what happened in my life. I used to drink coffee all the time, not wine or anything. I was a frequent coffee drinker because I'm from southern part of India. Southern part of India is known for coffee culture. People all the time, morning 2 cups of coffee, then evening coffee, then afternoon coffee. Sometimes even night also they drink coffee. This nice filter coffee decoction, like as we get in some of the cafes here. Not that instant coffees. Instant coffees are not good. That they made with that chicory and all this, that's really nice. With lots of aroma. I used to drink frequently. And in 2018, I visited Puri. Puri Jagannath is one of the famous Vaishnava temple. The holiest temple, one of the holiest temple in India. It's on the eastern side of India, towards Bay of Bengal. And it is a seashore temple. And I went and I prayed. I remember Sri Ramakrishna, I surrender myself to you. You please take this coffee drinking out of me. And in fact, before that, I tried my level best to, stop this habit, but I never could. But when I did surrender to him, then I thought I can escape. Okay, anyway, I have surrendered, something will happen. I didn't take it, in fact, seriously. Slowly, I completely lost interest in drinking coffee. Completely lost. And I don't know how, even the coffee smell, I couldn't stand. So now I don't drink coffee. It's been like more than 3 years. I stopped drinking coffee. So again, Saranagati is not that easy. People might say it is easy, and people say, oh, you do Saranagati, but always remember, when you are Saranagati, you are forced by invisible power to go towards God. If you want that, then you do Saranagati. Or I want to enjoy the world and also do the bhakti, God, then you be in bhakti marga. Saranagati marga, Saranagati way is something little higher to this bhakti. And Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful example of kitten and cat. We say that is Marjara Nyaya. In Sanskrit, we call it as Marjara Nyaya, or it is called as Markata Nyaya. So Marjara Nyaya means the difference is Saranagati. Markata means a monkey, you see a baby monkey will hold tightly on mother's stomach. And and when it jumps from one tree to another tree, the mother monkey will not hold its baby. The baby will hold the mother monkey. But whereas in cat, the kitten will be held by the mother cat by its mouth, or by holding its very gently to bite. Won't bite very ferociously, but hold it very gently. It knows how to hold its kitten with its teeth, sharp teeth. And the kitten, wherever the mother cat's foot, it will stay and just meow, meow, meow. It just shouts that. And that is what this is the best way Sri Ramakrishna says for us to be. But I say again, I warn you, remember the points. But once you do Saranagati to Sri Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna is going to be an invisible power, and he will try to take you out of this whirlpool, which we feel that, oh, it is the most nice thing to be in this world. All the time we think. But he will try to snatch us away slowly, 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 and he will make us most uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, Arjuna had that. Arjuna wanted to run away from the battle and lead a comfortable life as a wandering monk in the forest. What did Krishna did? He made things absolutely uncomfortable for him. He doesn't want to kill his kins and friends. He wants to run away. He said, no way. We have to understand that in the second chapter, he says, I'm going to surrender to you, please instruct me. After that, Bhagavan instructs. He uses the word, I will surrender to you. The moment he used the word surrender, he made everything uncomfortable for him. You cannot run away. You must do it. It is not your will. It is my will. We think it is our will. No, everything he wants it. And he just says, okay, let him say. It is because when we say, I built this house, did you build? We borrowed money from the bank and we invested and we built the house. You say, I built this house to your friend. Did you build? Did we put one brick on this physical appearance? It is done by mason and all other skilled laborers. But we say, I built. So like that, it is God, it is divine who built this entire universe. But we say, I did this, I did that. Then he, without of his merciful grace, he is saying, okay, let him say, he's my son. Let him say, no problem. Mother cooks the whole meal. So the daughter says, oh, I cooked. Mother says, what? Okay, my mother, okay, let my daughter say so. She is going to be my inheritance. Let me say proudly, no problem. So this is the importance of Saranagati. And there's one thing happened in Swamiji's life when he was in Camp Taylor near in California. He conducted a retreat. Many devotees were there. And the routine of that camp was that every day they have to meditate in the morning. Imagine being under Swamiji. We are all nothing. I pity those disciples who were under Swamiji directly. But he was an embodiment of mercy. Though he was strict, they used to enjoy his strictness. So what happened? So everybody was gathering and his disciple hands dropped. Hansbrough was, Mrs. Hansbrough was actually hosting Swamiji, and she accompanied Swamiji to that camp. And every day she used to cook for Swamiji and also for other devotees. Then Swamiji said, "Oh, Hansbrough, it's the time for us to meditate. Let us please come." Hansbrough said, "So, Swamiji, I'm cooking. I cannot come. I cannot come for meditation. And I will come later." Then Swamiji said, "That's all right. You do not need to meditate. I will meditate for you." What a great gift. Swami Vivekananda is meditating for us. So what more we need? And Hansbrough, like, she felt so pleased to hear, like, she did absolute surrender to Swamiji, and Swamiji is going to look after her health. And she was prepared for that surrender life. And Swamiji in fact excused Hansbrough, saying that, "Well, never mind." This is exactly what he said. "Well, never mind. Our master, that is Sri Ramakrishna, said, you could leave meditation for service. If you are doing service for the welfare of the world, genuinely, without seeking any what is karma phala tyaga, we say in Sanskrit, without any expectations, then that person is spared from meditation. Because meditation is the most boring activity, to be honest. We would like to do service. We want to do all kinds of service. So this is also reiterated and confirmed by Bhagavan, that is in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Dhyanen atmani pashyanti kaschit atmanam atmana anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare anye tu evam ajanantah srutva anyebhya upasate tepi cha atiranti eva mrityum sruti parayana. The meaning is, these embodied souls used to use their mind to meditate about, to know about their true nature of the soul. The instrument is the mind. Even the mind in the sloka is called as Atman. And Atmanam is the object, which is the soul of souls. The meditator is also an individual soul, Jivatma. He is also called as Atma. And the mind which he uses to meditate is also called as Atma. And he is meditating on his true self. And this is the method. And this method is followed by Jnana Yogis and the Karma Yogis. There are two sets of people. Jnana Yogis means who have absolute strength to control their senses. They are well-versed people. They can sit and meditate. They can control all the sense organs. Very much skilled, like a yogi, like our sage in the story which I told you in the beginning. And there's a Karma Yogis, another set of devotees. They don't have strength. They only have willpower to go towards God. So for them also, they have to know the difference between the soul and this body. So one has a strength, the other has just the willpower. They don't have, these Karma Yogis are very happy to do service. They don't want to sit and meditate. Any distribution of relief work, or food distribution, and they are ready to give free work, free services to anybody. So even for them, they should know the distinction between the soul and the body. And even people who have difficulties in understanding these two, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, Bhagavan is giving a discount. I don't want to be a Jnana Yogi, very difficult path. I have to control my senses. Always my senses are going outside. Very difficult for me to do that. I can't sit and meditate. Secondly, and also I'm very busy. I don't have time for all these Karma Yoga kind of things. Is even for such people, just by hearing the words of wisdom from the saint and seers, again, not from me, I'm not telling I'm saint or seer, from Sri Ramakrishna. Just by hearing the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, they will be able to cross the difficulties in this life. Just by hearing, there's a Sravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasa. Just by hearing. A great discount for us. And another interesting in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna's, how the Gospel saved the life of Purna. There was a personality called Purna Chandra Ghosh. Does anybody know who is Purna? Yeah, he is a young devotee, very young devotee, very handsome devotee in the group of Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna declared him as an Ishvara. A great certificate. Ishvara Koti means Nitya Suris, or people who are individual soul who are eternally liberated. And this fellow, somehow, in fact, Ramakrishna wanted him to be a monastic disciple, but he somehow landed being a household disciple. Now, again, there is no distinction being that monks are great or householders or something below, nothing like that. See, Ramakrishna he had an equal vision on both. So there are sometimes you might hear monks are greater than householders or they are more holy or something, nothing like that. This is wherever there is Ramakrishna and if anybody has that relationship with him, that person is the old person. So Sri Ramakrishna declared him as an Ishvara Koti, like a god-like soul. This fellow got depressed. He actually had lots of problems in his life, and he sometimes he regretted why he got married and all this. Anyway, that's all a different story. What happened is he got totally demotivated and wanted to give up his body. He wants to commit suicide. So then suddenly he thought, but he was also a Saranagata. He also did Saranagati to Sri Ramakrishna. So before he wanted to die, he thought, just a second, he thought, let me read the gospel before I die. So he went to the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and he randomly opened the book. And in that page, the recording of our Mahendranath Gupta, we call him as Master Mahasha. I will just read that in Bengali. He says, Purna Balak Bhakta. Purna Balak Bhakta. Thakur Purner Mankol Chintan Koriteche. The meaning is, Purna is a young devotee. Thakur is talking about him. He wants to commit suicide. And he opened the book, and in that recording, Thakur is talking about this Purna, which is recorded by Mahendranath Gupta many years before. And in that, the sentence says this: Purna is a young devotee, Balak Bhakto, and the master, the Sri Ramakrishna, was thinking of his welfare. That was the devotee. That is the sentence. Immediately, his mind changed. Said, how fool I am to give up my life. When Thakur is there to take care of my welfare, why should I give up this life? Have I given up Thakur? No. If he has given up Thakur, he would not have opened Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He had that, but he had a doubt whether Thakur is loving him or not. Then he got absolute strength with this statement, and he gave up that stupid idea of committing suicide. And he continued his life. So the time is approaching the time. The next session we will see how what is the comment from Holy Mother about the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So we will talk about that later and the next class. And next class, I also want to go a little bit about the hardcore of the Vedanta also, the different schools of Vedanta, and which school was favored by Sri Ramakrishna, and which school is subscribed by Sri Ramakrishna. Again, there is no superiority or inferiority in school. I'm just going to tell what that respective school says, and it is up to you, individual, to select and practice. Now, this whole thing is an individually based thing. If you all want to learn a music instrument, like we all go to a violin class, a teacher will teach how to play violin, but it is we have to practice it individually. Otherwise, we are not going to be a master. So it is an individual effort. If I am hungry, I have to eat. Just because I'm married, I'm hungry, and I can't say, okay, my wife, please eat, and my hungriness is not going to go. It is an individual effort. With Sri Ramakrishna, he is there with us. He is like, that Gopika, when there's 19 Gopikas were dancing, and Krishna took 19 forms, and he was with each and every Gopika. So like that, Sri Ramakrishna is going to be with us. In each one of us, he is going to take the form which we want and to be with us all the time to support our faith. So with this, I conclude. Mangalam Deshikendraya Vinam Chakravartine Parashakti Swarupine Devyai Matre Chamangalam Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. If you have any questions?
Now we have a arrangement.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
It is there. So I don't have that big one.
Okay.
Yes, but
Okay.
yeah.
Let's keep it ready. Once the question answer. So maybe you need to understand.
I'm just
Here are the
Any questions or
There are only.
No question yet. No question apart from anybody. Any questions from audience?
I had a question.
No. Go ahead, Akshay.
Like if the devotee gives up God, then does God still stay with the devotee?
If devotee gives up God, does God stay with the devotee?
It is not actually possible for fish to go out of the water. Fish might mistakenly think that it is out of the water, but it cannot go. So, like fish and water, we are always with God, in God, through God, and we can say even more. So, God will never give us up. It is we who always give Him, and we forget about His presence, and we go into these fleeting objects. But He will help us. Every drop which falls from the akasha or sky will go to the ocean. Akashat patito toyam yada gacchati sagaram arvadeva namaskaram keshavam pratigacchati. Nobody is going to be missed. It is only takes some time, and that time might be a fruitful for that person, and he or she can be an example for others. So it is the God's play. So definitely God is not going to abandon us. Water will never betray fish. This is the truth.
We will go again. Photos are there.
I understood. I'm waiting for his signal, so
Pranama.
Okay, we can all sing together. So this is actually fourth class, so everyone knows this song. Gaho re jaya jaya
Ramakrishna Nam. Gaho re jaya jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Ajiye shubh din miliye bhakt jan. Ajiye shubh din miliye bhakt jan. Ramakrishna Nam. Gaho re Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Gaho re Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Ramakrishna Name Ramakrishna Preme. Ramakrishna Name Ramakrishna Preme. Matiya Urag Dharadham. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Harite Bhuva Prema Bhava. Harite Bhuva Prema Bhava. Prabhu Ramakrishna Gunanam. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Gauri. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Jai Rama Jai Krishna Vishwa Guru Ramakrishna. Jai Rama Jai Krishna Vishwa Guru Ramakrishna. Ekadare Jama Jiva Jam. Gauri. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Gauri. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Gauri. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna Nam. Jai Sri Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Jai Sri Mahamai ki Jai. Jai Sri Swami Maharaj Ji ki Jai.